Hey, and welcome inside the new Moon Room at the Moonrise Hotel. I'm joined by two of the guys in the band Fivefold. Guys, thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
And I first want to take a minute to address your commitment to excellence, how it's about just making great music. You know, being successful and selling 1 million records comes second. What drives that?
I think it's just us trying to do something different. A lot of bands out there, they have a lot of songs about partying and doing this or that, and for us it's really kind of trying to connect with fans and stuff that maybe Ryan's been through, you know, lyrically. That definitely comes out, stuff he's been through his life, and just kind of trying to help people, like, you know, that's where it kind of goes for us.
I think the important thing is, like, we never just, you know, lose sight of why we started making music. You know, I know for all of us, this is like a means to what's the word? Kind of explain, kind of send out a message to the world that otherwise, you know, we would not be able to get out.
Sure.
You know, so this is like our chance to do that. You know, I think it's important that we keep that in mind. You know, so it's all about music before making all that dough. You know. So.
Sure.
But,
and speaking of music, the new EP, Hold On, very cool album art. What is the meaning behind that and the theme of the album?
Hold On.
Yes.
Hold On. What's funny about that is we had actually recorded and almost been done recording every other song on that EP. Yeah. Then Matt had written a this little riff at like 3 a.m. in the morning. We were all supposed to stay up. We all passed out. He was up, and he came to me with this, and we wrote Hold On, like in the studio in a couple days, and it kind of explained where we had been. You know, we've all collectively been through some stuff, you know, and so I think Hold On as a song is about holding on to those times and memories. You know, those times made you who you were. Yeah. So that's what it's about. So.
And the band name Fivefold, I want to ask you about that, where it came from, and what that means to you guys.
Oh man, the infamous band name. That's a difficult thing to come up with. Ours came out of a dictionary with our late guitarist Jesse's dad. We were all standing in a kitchen looking through a dictionary. He's like, "What about this Fivefold?" And we're like, "Well, what does it mean?" It means 5 things or 5 people coming together to accomplish one goal. And for us, that's who we were. Mm-hmm. We were 5 different people who had met and were trying to accomplish one thing. And we all came from different backgrounds. So it just kind of fit, and it just worked for us. That's where it came from.
You guys have been a band for, what, 7 years? Is that right?
7 years.
7 years. And I was wondering if you had any advice for a band just starting out.
Stay best friends with everyone you're in the band with. No matter what you go through, if you have hard feelings about anyone in that band, you tell them straight up.
Sure. And
tell them right away, and before it brews into something bigger. Because that's what destroys bands, is non-communication, just like any relationship.
It's tough. You got 5 people who want the best for one thing, and that's great, but sometimes not everybody sees eye to eye, and that's something I think we've learned to do growing up together and being such good friends and being so close, is if we have, you know, something that we feel like we need to get off our chest, we talk about it. We don't argue. Mm-hmm. We get it out, we discuss it, and it's over. That's it, you know, and it always ends fine. It just does, because we're not crazy, I don't think.
And like you said, like Derrick said, you know, we all know that everyone has the best intentions. You know, you kind of take a step back and be like, dude, this guy's opinion is strictly because he wants the best for this band, just like me. Sure. You know, so maybe I should step back and see it through their eyes. You know?
Right, and I think that's true of life.
Yeah, exactly.
Even beyond that, that's great. And on the flip side of that, you guys have opened for a lot of great national acts. What's the best advice they've given you, and what you've gleaned from that?
I don't know about like advice. I can't think of any advice right off the top of my head. But I'll tell you, there are bands that we've opened for that have been very, very. I don't really know what the word to say. I guess stuck up in a way. But then there's a few bands, and I'll name 2 right off the top of my head: Switchfoot and Sick Puppies.
Sure.
They were some of the nicest people in the world. They were kind to us and talked to us when they didn't even have to be. If they didn't talk to us, we wouldn't thought twice about it.
Sure.
But they did. and that kind of showed us that, hey, you know, not everyone in this whole thing, that just because you get big in the music scene doesn't mean that it takes your soul away. You know, there's some good people in there. So I guess that, for me, that's advice.
We also learned from the bands that, you know, he said we're kind of stuck up. You kind of learn how not to be.
Right.
Exactly.
You tell yourself if you ever get that big, you're not going to be that band. And when you see it firsthand, you're like, I really don't want to be that that guy. You know, the only reason you're there is because of fans. Some bands lose sight of that, but yeah, Switchfoot was amazing.
Yeah.
And Sick Puppies, they were great too. They gave us advice afterwards, basically about record labels and what to kind of watch out for and steer clear from. So they were great people.
I want to get back to your EP, Hold On, and you know, I've noticed it in local record stores, and obviously it's on iTunes and stuff like that, so people can go out and get it. But what does it mean to you to have the physical copy in local record stores and not just a digital presence?
I mean, it's like a support thing, you know. It feels good because it's almost like everybody around you believes in you enough. You know, they're putting you next to all the other CDs and stuff, and it's cool too because for us, we can tell people, hey, you can go to a record store and buy our CD. Like, it's like, that's pretty cool to say for us, you know. It's like a little step we've made, and everybody around here has been really cool. CD Warehouse, Walter Ray over there has been amazing towards us. Vintage Vinyl has our stuff. Just in the St. Louis music scene in general is pretty supportive of stuff like that, and the support out there from venues and The Point and everybody else is awesome.
Yeah.
Great. And where can people go find you online to follow you on Facebook and all that stuff?
Yeah, Facebook. Fivefoldband.com will take you to a gateway of all of our stuff. You can get our Twitter links, Instagram. We have a link to our merch store on there. There's a blog on there you can check out. We encourage everyone to. That's our gateway to Fivefold.
Awesome. Great. Well, the new EP is called Hold On. For the guys in Fivefold, my name is Ben Province. You're watching Show Me the Music.
Take the loss without grain of salt, but I'm not fooling anybody, am I this time?